Hello again, everybody. We're back here with our 120th series of our historical baseball matchups presented by Out of the Park Baseball 20. It's been fun so far. We just had some recent really good series. I encourage you to go back and take a look at them, and we're ready to start yet another. So let's introduce our teams for this one, and we will start with a modern team, the 2015 Chicago Cubs. It's Joe Maddon's first season in charge of the Cubs, and the first year they really made a move to be competitive. They won 97 games, surprised a lot of people, did well in the playoffs, beat the Pirates and thrashed the Cardinals, and then they ran into the Mets where they lost in the NLCS. But a team that was above expectations, the Cubs. A lot of young, good performers here. You can see starting off with the likes of Chris Bryant, who hit .275 with 26 homers, 99 RBIs. Anthony Rizzo drove in 101 with his 31 long balls. Addison Russell came on the scene, although his average was pretty low. He was at 21 years old. Starlin Castro still on this team, 69 RBIs with 23 doubles. Jorge Soler at .262, and Dexter Fowler, who was the leadoff man, stole 20 bases. Hit 29 doubles and a .250 clip. So the Cubs not exactly dominant as they would be maybe the couple years after this. And you can see here Kyle Schwarber as well making an impression. 16 home runs in only 69 games. But they did overachieve, and they really hit the ball well, especially as the year progressed. But the big star of this team is none other than Jake Arrieta, who won the Cy Young and just had a year for the ages. Some can argue the best season pitching-wise we've seen in the last 40 or 50 years. Arrieta 22-6 with a 177, 4 complete games, 3 shutouts, 229 innings. He struck out 236, only walked 48. Just an outstanding season. His whip was .86. Arrieta was more than dominant, throwing a no-hitter, a couple I believe actually, and really, really dominating for the Cubs. All year long. John Lester, 11-12, his gritty season with a .334. He had some hard luck, but a nice ERA. Kyle Hendricks came on the scene for the first time, 8-7, .395 with a shutout of his own. Jason Hamill and Dan Herron also part of the mix. Hamill getting the majority of the starts, and Hector Rondon was the closer here with 30 saves. A very, very good season. 167 in 72 games. He struck out 69 batters. Travis Wood, Pedro Strop, some of the other Cub arms that did quite well. And again, a very, very good Cubs team that would win the World Series just a year later. The Cubs won 97 and were a force to reckon with. So they're a team to keep an eye on here as we get ready. It will be fun to watch the Cubs. And their opponent's not very good. It is going to be the 1939 Washington Senators, I believe, is the team that we have drawn. Double check it. Yes, the Senators, who lost 87 games, won only 65. Bucky Harris leading this team. The Senators, pretty weak competition at this point of their history. 6th in the American League. Looking at their team, Buddy Lewis, a very, very good player, 75 RBIs at .319, a .402 on-base percentage. Definitely a all-star type season for him. Cecil Travis, a good hitter at .292. Taffy Wright, 93 RBIs, hit .309. Also a good hitter. Rick Frill, the catcher, solid contributor on both sides. Mickey Vernon at only 21, hit .257. George Chase in the outfield along with Sam West. Case hitting over .302 with 51 steals, so he was the speed element for this team. Not a terrible lineup. Some good average hitters, some guys that got on base. On the mound, Dutch Leonard, 20-8 in his 34 starts. Struck out only 88, but he kept batters to a low average and did manage to win almost every time he took the mound. He pitched 2 shutouts. Ken Chase, 10-19, kind of the opposite. Lost almost every time he took the mound, 19 times in fact. Joe Krokakis, I'll try again. Krokakis, 11-17. He also took a number of losses. His 4.60 ERA, pretty high for the time. And some other arms, Joe Hayes, Pete Appleton, Alex Carrasquel, to round it off for the Senators, who weren't very competitive, but roster-wise, I don't think they were as bad as their record probably shows. Either way, as we go live here to our series, best of 7, the Cubs, the modern Cubs, will go up against the Senators in this best of 7. First 2 in Chicago before we go to Griffith Stadium. The Cubs, of course, the favorites, but as we've seen in the past, these teams that aren't supposed to do very well step up and play well, and in some cases pull upsets. So the ace, Jake Arrieta, is going to take the mound for the Cubs. Probably unhittable as always if he keeps up his 15 form. He's going to go up against Ken Chase as game 1 of the series is ready to go. It's the 1939 Washington Senators against the 2015 Chicago Cubs. Modern ball against old golden era baseball. So let's see how it plays out. Let's get our series started. Best of 7 starting here at Wrigley Field. So here we are at Wrigley for game 1, top of the first inning. Arrieta on the mound against Buddy Lewis. 1 out, 1 on. And this one's lined down the line in right field. So the Senators putting on the pressure here in the very first inning. Second and third with only 1 out. Starting off with a bang, here's Estrella with a chance to put the Senators up, and he'll line it to center field. This one is going to be caught by Fowler, but a runner's going to tag. The throw is going to be late, and the Senators take a 1-0 lead in this ball game. Here's Taffy Wright against Arrieta. And Wright lines it down the right field line. It's going to be 2-0 Senators, and the dominance of Jake Arrieta is not showing here as he's had a rough beginning. 2 runs scored by the Senators in the very first inning, a double for Taffy Wright. We'll move now all the way to the 5th inning. 2-0. The score's holding up as Starlin Castro's facing Case. This ball's lying to right field. It'll drop in there. It's the 3rd Cubs hit to lead off the inning here in the 5th. Case now facing Jorge Soler. And Soler will line it into the hole, but play made by the shortstop. Double play there. The Senators turn 2, and they're going to hold on to this 2-0 advantage as we move to the later innings. Now we move to the 6th. Cecil Travis facing Arrieta. And this is line to right field all the way to the wall. Off the wall it goes. It's going to be a triple here for Travis. And with nobody out, the Senators coming back at it again. Travis with the triple. But the Senators cannot get him home. We'll bottom of the 6th now with Dexter Fowler coming up. So runner on third with nobody out. Washington cannot deliver. And there's a tapper in front of the mound. That's going to be a tough play. Fowler's going to beat it out with his great speed. And now the Cubs have the leadoff man on with Chris Conklin, the hitter. We are in the 6th inning. It's a 2-0 ball game. That's ball 4. So now a jam here for these Senators as Chase tries to keep the shutout going. And Anthony Rizzo comes up with 2 on. Rizzo hits it to right field, but that's caught out there. Wright makes the play, so first out of the innings there. Now we got runners on the corners for Chris Bryant. Bryant going to line this one to left field. That's going to drop in there. So Chris Bryant with the single. And the Cubs get on the board, and it's 2-1 here after the RBI by Bryant. And Kyle Schwarber up in a big spot. He grounds it to first. Making it himself the first baseman. West steps on the bag for the 2nd out. Or actually for the 3rd out. And that will end the inning. And the ball game now 2-1. So we move to the 7th inning. Buddy Meyer up there with Pedro Stroke in the game. Nobody out. 2 on. This ball's grounded past Rizzo at first base. Runner's going to round third. Here's the throw of the plate. It's going to be in time. A great throw by Jorge Soler from right field to get West sliding home, and that's going to be an out. So here's George Case now with 1 out in the inning, 2 on. Case is going to pop it high to right field. Here comes Soler again. He's got it. So Strope might get out of this thing. He does. We'll move to the bottom of the 7th. Still a 1-run game. All to play for as Alex Carrasquel's come on. He's going to face Soler, who made that great defensive play. And Soler takes one inside on a 3-1 pitch, and he's on first base here for Addison Russell. Russell takes ball 4, so Carrasquel in all types of trouble with his control. With 1 out, the Cubs have runners first and second for Austin Jackson, the pinch hitter. Jackson hits it to left field. That gets down there, so the runner will hold at third, and we'll have the bases loaded with only 1 out here in the 7th inning. And Dexter Fowler facing Alex Carrasquel with the bases loaded and the infield in. This is line to the shortstop. Play will be made at home, so they get the lead runner as the infield coming in pays off with the Senators. And now with 2 outs, Chris Coghlan up for the Cubs. Coghlan hits it deep to right. That ball's got some charge on it all the way back. Looking up, grand slam, Chicago Cubs, Chris Coghlan. Coghlan hits a slam to right field just over the wall into the basket. And the Cubs put up 4 in the inning. And the Senators' lead is long gone. It is now 5-2 Cubs. We'll move to the 8th. A huge slam by the most unexpected of people. Chris Coghlan comes through. Here's Buddy Lewis against Jason Mott. This ball's lined to center field. That's going to drop for a leadoff single now. So the Senators try to climb back here. Estrellas come on now. He hits it to second. He's made dirt. And the Cubs turn 2 as Starlin Castro heads to Addison Russell, who finishes the double play. And Taffy Wright now, the batter here in the 8th inning. This ball's hit deep to right field. That ball's going to get down and roll to the wall. So that's a double for Taffy Wright coming after the double play. Jimmy Bloodworth now the hitter. He's the pinch hitter. And he grounds it into the hole. That ball gets past Russell. Runner trying to score. They will. And the Senators make it 5-3 on the Bloodworth RBI single. Bottom of the 8th now is Walt Masterson's facing Castro with a 1 out. And the Cubs second baseman singles to left field. So we got runners first and second. Only 1 out. But we'll move to the 9th with 2 outs. Now Hector Rondon looking to close things out against George Case. 2 outs in the inning. And this ball's lined deep to center field, but Fowler's going to get there, and the Cubs are going to take game 1 of the series. They win it at home, 5-3, thanks to a late inning comeback after falling behind early. The grand slam by Chris Coghlan, the big play of the day. And Ken Chase, who pitched well, just couldn't get the job done. Jake Arrieta had some trouble in the first inning, but doesn't have any part of the decision. And Chris Coghlan, who was 1 for 3 and with 1 swing of the bat, put the Cubs up for good with 4 RBIs. Pedro Strop gets the win. Carrasquel the loss. Hector Rondon takes the save. And more importantly for Chicago, they do what they have to do and win the opener 5-3, each team with 9 hits. The Cubs with a 1-0 series lead. And now John Lester will take the mound for Chicago against Joe Krakowskis in what should be a very interesting game number 2. So let's see if Chicago can continue their roll or if the Senators can even things out. Let's head to Wrigley Field for game 2 of the series. Game 2, top of the first inning. We have 2 outs and Buddy Lewis at the plate against John Lester. And Lewis goes and deposits a single to center field, and the runner's going to round third. So Washington again gets off the mat first here with a 1-0 lead in the first inning. We'll move bottom 3. Anthony Rizzo up there with 2 on, 2 out. And Rizzo's going to line a single to right field. Lester's going to round third. John Lester running the bases well and ties this game up at 1. Anthony Rizzo comes through with an RBI single. We'll move now to Chris Bryant with 2 on here. Same inning, and Bryant takes all 4. So the Cubs now bases loaded here in this tie ball game. Kyle Schwarber the threat at the plate. Schwarber, however, will strike out swinging, and that will do it. Krakowskis gets a big strikeout, and we are still tied at 1 here in the 5th inning. Rick Farrell at the plate, the catcher. Farrell's going to hit this one up the middle. That's a base hit. Runner moving the 3rd, so 1st and 3rd for the Senators. Nobody out, 5th inning. Cecil Travis, the hitter. Travis goes to left field. That's right at the left field. A throw to the plate on the tag, and they get him. West is out at the plate as Coughlin makes a rifle throw. Kind of suspect to send the runners because that ball was hit hard, but it comes through here for the Cubs on the Coughlin assist. Bottom of the 6th, Schwarber up here still in the tie game. There's a walk, so now it's 1st and 2nd. Nobody out here in the 6th inning for Chicago. Starlin Castro, the hitter. Castro goes to center field, but that's going to float up there and be caught. Case makes the play, 1 out. Jorge Soler, the hitter. Soler pops it up. That should be playable here on the infield. Play is made there. West has the first baseman, 2 outs for Addison Russell. Russell, however, singles to right field. That's going to score the go-ahead run. Throw to the plate. No! Bryant is out. A beautiful assist from the right fielder here to get Bryant, trying to give the Cubs the lead and end the inning. Each team now with a beautiful defensive play. Wright's the player who made the throw for the Senators in right field, and this game remains tied at 1. We're in the top of the 7th now, and there's a line shot up the middle. That's going to be a base hit. Lewis with the single. Here comes Jimmy Bloodworth. John Lester still in this ball game. Bloodworth looks at strike 3 on a 1-2 pitch, so 1 out. Sam West, the hitter. And West goes up the middle. There's another hit. Runner moving the 3rd, and we got 1st and 2nd now for the Senators here in the 7th inning. Only 1 out. Rick Farrell, the hitter. Lester delivers. This is hit to short. Play made by Russell. Relay to first from Castro. Double play Cubs as we hit the stretch. Great defense by both baseball teams. This game remains tied at 1. 6 hits apiece by each team, and Harry Kelly now facing Chris Coughlin. We're in the bottom of the 7th. Coughlin, the hero of game number 1 up there. Fowler's on first base. Here's a ground ball. That's going to get through. So Fowler's going to head to 3rd, but another rifle throw. They're going to get him. Wright fires out for his 2nd assist of the game. This one from right field, and Fowler is dead in his tracks. What an arm Wright is showing here in this ball game. Incredible. We'll move to the 8th inning, still tied at 1. Cecil Travis facing John Lester. And this is lined into left field for a leadoff hit. Charlie Yelbert now, the pinch hitter. And this is lined in the outfield. So that's 2 hits in a row for the Senators. It's going to be 1st and 3rd now with nobody out. A big spot here. George Case, the hitter. Infield is in. This one's hit in the center field. Base hit, Washington. They take the lead on the single. Case brings home the go-ahead run, making it 2-1. Here's Taffy Wright, the defensive hero of the game. Still nobody out. This is hit to short. That's going to be an easy 2 for the Cubs. They turn the double play. We'll move bottom of the 8th now. The Senators have edged out in front. Periscill's the pitcher again. Pitched in game 1, had some control issues. This one's grounded to third, and it's bobbled, an error on the Chris Bryant grounder. Lewis cannot handle the little hopper. And Bryant, now representing the tying run, is on first base. Here's Kyle Schwarber. Schwarber's going to hit this one to the second baseman, and the shift works perfectly for Washington. They get the double play off the Schwarber. Seemed like would be a single, was not. And here's Starlin Castro, now 2 outs in the 8th inning. Nobody on now. And this one's lined deep to center field, but coming on to make the play is the center fielder Case. Our game remains 2-1 as we move to the 9th inning. Bloodworth facing Pedro Strop with 1 out. That's going to get through for a single for Bloodworth. We'll move bottom of the 9th now. The Cubs down 2-1. Pete Appleton in to try to close it out. Miguel Montero, the Cub hitter. There's strike 3 on the inside corner, a 3-2 pitch. Montero didn't like the call, but it's out number 1. Here's Addison Russell. 2-1 ball game. Russell's going to hit this one to center field. Playable out there by Case, and 2 outs now for the Cubs. Austin Jackson, the last hitter and last hope. He strikes out swinging. Appleton gets him, and the Senators are going to win game 2, 2-1. A very well played ball game. Some great defense. Taffy Wright with some outstanding play in right field, making the difference. There you see Krakowskis and Lester pitching well into the game, and they pitched well indeed. Lester, however, gets the loss as the Senators put up a run in the 8th inning. Sam West 2 for 3 in the ball game. Looking at the game log, we move down to the 8th, and you can see here that George Case single scored Cecil Travis and ended up being the difference maker of this ball game as the Washington Senators win at Wrigley Field, split the 2 games in Chicago, and now we are heading to Washington, D.C. and Griffith Stadium for game number 3 and 3 planned out games here in Washington to determine what direction this series will go in. Kyle Hendricks will take the mound now for the Cubs against Dutch Leonard, the 20-game winner for the Senators. They're saving him for game 3. This series now is a best of 5. It's all even. We've seen some very good baseball. Expect it to continue now as we head out to Washington for game 3. Series tied at 1. Game number 3, we're top of the 2nd inning now. Dutch Leonard facing Starlin Castro, no score. Castro goes deep to left. That ball's got some carry. Looking up, and it's going deep to left field here in the 2nd inning. Way out of here. 1-0. The Cubs take the lead in the 2nd inning of this ball game. Bottom now of the 2nd. Taffy right at the plate. Taffy Wright goes deep. That one's up and over the wall in right field. Taffy Wright hits an answering with a solo home run. We are now tied at 1 in this ball game. Moving all the way to the 6th inning. Chris Coughlin facing Dutch Leonard with a man on. And this is drilled to right. Deep into the night. Coughlin, another home run in the series. His 2nd. With a man on, it's now 3-1 Cubs as Coughlin clears the fence with a home run off Leonard here. Put the Cubs up. Lewis now facing Kyle Hendricks. And this ball's drilled fair in the left field. That's going to go all the way to the wall. Runner headed for third. He's going to try to score. We have a triple here. Travis scores, and Lewis has a scoring triple. It is now 3-2. And Bobby Estrella has a chance now to tie this game. He hits it to second. However, Castro holds the runner and throws Estrella out. Caffey right now with 2 outs at the plate. Tying run on third. This is hit to Rizzo. Rizzo's going to take it himself and beat the runner to the bag. So the Cubs will hold on to their 1-run lead as we move to the 7th. Jorge Soler at the plate. Soler drills it into the gap. That's hard off the wall in left center. Soler heading for third. He's going to make it with a 1-out triple. What a line. Soler. But the Cubs fail to plate him, and we're bottom of the 7th now. Rick Farrell facing Hendricks, who's holding on to the 1-run lead. This is hit to short. Play is going to be made there. Nice play. Here. Bottom of the 8th. Buddy Meyer now facing Hendricks. Hendricks into the late innings here. Still on the mound. This is hit to Rizzo. Rizzo takes it himself to the bag. Meyer is out. Cecil Travis, the hitter, with 2 outs. Strike 3. Hendricks has been on top of his game as he wraps up the 8th inning. 3-2 Cubs. We're bottom of the 9th. Hector Rondon has come on and try to close it. Buddy Lewis leading off for the home team. It's a 3-2 ball game. This is hit to third. Great play by Chris Bryant, but he can't make the throw, and the runner goes all the way to second. Bryant picked up a line ground ball. Hit very hard, but his throw to first could not hit the target. And now Washington has the tying run on second with nobody out. Let's see if the Senators can come through. That's popped up, however. Going to be caught by La Stella. So there's 1 out here. Tagging right up. Tying run on second base. Winning run at the plate. This is hit to second. Play made by Castro. Right is out. So 2 outs now. It all comes down to Jimmy Bloodworth. Jason Mott has come in to try to get the final out. The tying run 90 feet away. Here's Mott delivering. Full count pitch. Ground ball to short. Russell's got it. Throw to first in time. The Cubs hang on and win game number 3, 3-2. Addison Russell making the last play on a ground ball deep in the hole. And Chicago comes into Washington and defeats the Senators to take a 2-1 game lead in this series. Kyle Hendricks was wonderful in this ball game. He won 8 innings, 2 earned runs only, allowed only 5 hits. Dutch Leonard pitched decently as well, but he takes the loss. Hendricks the win, and Chris Coughlin hit a 2-run home run in the 6th inning. That really was the difference finally in the end. The Senators got the tying run on third, but Mott was able to come in and close the door. He gets the save for the series. And the Cubs, as we mentioned, now have the edge. They are up 2-1 as we look towards game number 4. Jason Hamill for the Cubs will face Joe Haynes in a crucial game for the Senators as they look to tie things up and not fall behind by the less optimistic 3-1. The very tough mountain to climb if they fall that far behind. So game number 4 is going to be key, as it is in any series. So let's see if the Cubs can do it again. Washington defending their home field, heading out to Griffith Stadium. Game number 4 coming up. It's Hamill versus Haynes. Game 4, bottom of the 1st inning. It is 2nd and 3rd for the Senators. Bobby Estrella the dish against Jason Hamill. And this ball's lined up. Middle's going to get through. That's going to play 1, maybe 2. Slide, and he is out. They get the back runner at the plate, which keeps the game 1-0 on the Estrella RBI single. We'll move bottom of the second. Sam West is the hitter. West lines it deep to center field. That ball's going to roll all the way to the wall. So West is looking for a triple, and he's going to make it. A one-out triple by West as the Senators are off to a good start here against Hamill. 2-0 now. We move to the fourth. Anthony Rizzo, the hitter. Rizzo hits it into the gap. That ball's going to go all the way up against the wall. So Anthony Rizzo with a triple, it looks like. He's going to try it, and he will make it. One-out triple for Rizzo here in the fourth inning. Chris Bryant, the hitter. Bryant takes ball 4, so Cubs continuing to threat here in the fourth. Runners on the corners for Schwarber. Schwarber looks at strike 3. That caught the zone, so he's gone on a strikeout. That's the second out of the inning. And Starlin Castro, the hitter here with 2 outs. Castro strikes out, however, and Haynes gets him and gets on him. Senators in front, 3-0 now. We'll move to the sixth. Joe Haynes pitching a gem. Chris Coughlin now the hitter. Coughlin comes through with a base hit and a run around in third. He's going to hold, however. So the Cubs have first and third as Coughlin continues his hot series, and Rizzo's up there with nobody out. Rizzo, however, strikes out, and Haynes comes through again when he has to. 1 out for Bryant. Bryant hits it to third, play made at first, so they'll get the runner at first for the second out, holding the runner at third, and Kyle Schwarber again up in a big spot, representing the tying run. He strikes out, and the Cubs come up empty yet again. Great pitching by the Senators right-hander, and we are at 3-0 in the eighth inning. Anthony Rizzo at the plate with the man on. Pete Appleton, the new pitcher. Rizzo takes ball 4, so with 1 out again, the Cubs knocking on the door. Bryant's the hitter. Strike out for Bryant, and Appleton got him swinging, so the Cubs striking out has come back on him here. 2 outs now for Fowler. Fowler goes up the middle. That ball's going to get through for a single. Runner's going to hold, and the Cubs in a big spot here have the bases loaded. And their hottest hitter, Chris Coughlin's up there to face Appleton. 2 outs. And it's ball 4. Coughlin takes a walk. Cubs score their first run. It's 3-1 now here in the ninth. Still with 2 outs. 3-2 our score, and Chris Bryant up there with the bases loaded. Everything on the line against Appleton. 1-run game. Let's see what Bryant can do. He walks, and now this ball game is tied. The Cubs with a huge rally. Appleton completely losing it, walking 2 runs in. And this is a 3-3 tie, and the Cubs are not finished yet. Kyle Schwarber up there with the bases loaded. Alex Carrascal is the new pitcher. There's ball 4, the third walk-in run for the Senators, and the Cubs have taken the lead in probably here in the ninth inning. A complete turnaround of fortunes. The Senators not able to find the plate. Castro will ground out to second, but the Cubs put up 4 runs in the ninth to stun the Senators here at Griffith Stadium, and Hector Rondon has come on now with the job to try to close it. Buddy Meyer, the hitter in the bottom of the ninth, 4-3 our game. If you left this one early, you're missing out. And this one's back to the mound. Rondon makes the play for the first out. George Case, the hitter. Case hits it back to the mound again, and Rondon makes his second play of the inning. So 2 outs now. Final chance is Cecil Travis. Rondon delivers the 1-2 pitch. This is hit to short. Russell routine. Cubs win game number 4 by a final score of 4-3. A massive comeback in the 9th inning to turn this game around and maybe crush the end of this series, at least figuratively speaking. They are up now 3-1. Joe Haynes pitched wonderfully for the Senators. He deserved a lot better. He struck out 9, allowing no runs, but was pulled. And the Senator bullpen fell apart. Sam West 3 for 3 with a triple 2-run score. Jason Hamill was not included in the decision, allowed 3 runs, but it was the Cubs late, and even more importantly, the Senators' pen fell apart. Appleton and Carrasquillo walking in 3 runs in the 9th inning, allowing the Cubs to score 4 runs in the inning. They only had 5 hits in the game. But when you walk people at the wrong times and confidence is low, this is what happens. Hector Rondon with the second save of the season. A shame for Joe Haynes and the Senators, but the Cubs could care less. They'll take the win. And now the series 3-1. The Cubs with a chance to close it out early here as Jake Arrieta, a perfect setting for him to come on now and try to end the series against Ken Chase. It's game number 5 coming up as the Cubs are in full advantage now, 3-1 against the Senators. We really haven't seen too many, maybe 2 or 3 teams come back from a 3-1 deficit. The Senators will try to do exactly that, but one game at a time as we have game 5 coming up. Jake Arrieta looking to close out this series. So bottom of the 2nd inning, we got Jake Arrieta in a big jam here. Bases loaded, nobody out, and Ken Chase at the plate. And Chase will strike out as Arrieta comes through there with a big strikeout for the first out of this inning. Here's George Case now at the plate. This one, however, is drilled to right field. It's going to be caught. The throw to the plate by Coughlin's going to be late, so the Senators get on the board against Arrieta here in the 2nd inning. It's Cecil Travis now with 2 outs up there. Travis will take all 4, so Arrieta continues to struggle uncharacteristically, and Buddy Lewis has a chance to break this open. And Lewis will do just that. He hits it soft liner over the head of Rizzo, and 2 runs come in. It is now 3-0 Senators. 4-0 we move to the 6th inning with Kyle Schwarber up there and 2 on. There's ball 4, so bases are going to be loaded for the Cubs here in the 6th inning as they try to break through. Starlin Castro against Ken Chase. Here's a ground ball to 3rd, play at 2nd, relay to 1st, double play for the Senators. They get out of the jam, and the Cubs remain with only 1 hit and 0 runs in this ball game. It's a 2-hitter as we move to the 9th. Dick Bass has come on. There's 2 on for Addison Russell. A 5-0 ball game. This is grounded right up the middle. They'll get through. So the Cubs threatening again here late. It's the 9th inning. Bases loaded. Nobody out for Miguel Montero. Montero takes ball 4, and the Cubs get on the board 5-1. They're still very much alive as Dexter Fowler's at the plate. Fowler's going to go the other way. That ball's going to drop 4 ahead. Another run's going to score for the Cubs. The parade is continuing here late. It is 5-2. Early Wynn now comes on to face Chris Coughlin. Nobody out still in this ball game. This one's driven to center field. Making the catch there is the center fielder Case. He'll hold the runner after a great throw to the plate. No need for the Cubs to risk it. It's 5-2 now for Rizzo. Rizzo will pop it up. This is going to be playable. Coming on in hard's the shortstop. He'll have it. Travis settles under it, and we got the final chance here. Chris Bryant up there against Wynn. Strike 3 on the off-speed stuff, and the Senators win game number 5, 5-2. Early Wynn comes on and does the job late, getting the Senators out of a late jam, something they couldn't do in game number 4. 5-2 our final. Ken Chase went 6 innings, allowing no runs, walked 7, but didn't allow any hits, only 1 basically, so the walks didn't bite him as bad as they should have. Sam West, 3 for 3, 2 doubles, 2 RBIs. Arrieta, 6 innings of work, but allowed 4 earned runs. He also walked 5. Early win, a great performance coming in the 9th to put out the fire. The Cubs had a lot of chances in this one, could not come through, and the Senators prevent Chicago from celebrating on their home field. The series will go to a Game 6, which means the Cubs will be at home, and they will send John Lester to the mound against Joe Krakowskis, a rematch of game number 2. Lester hoping to close out the series. The Cubs now at home, still leading at 3-2, have a chance to end it, or will the Senators come back and keep fighting to force a Game 7? Game 6 right up in front of us now. Let's head out to Wrigley Field to see the action and see if the Cubs can end this series. So Game 6 here from Wrigley Field. We're top of the 2nd inning. Jimmy Bloodworth facing John Lester with a man on. And there's a shot to right field. That's going to be over the head of the right fielder, and the ball is going to be cut off here with runners on 2nd and 3rd. Bloodworth comes through with a double. And with nobody out, Sam West, the hitter, Cubs conceding the run. This is back up the middle by West. 1 run in. So Washington gets on board here. 1-0, make it 2-0 here in the 2nd inning. Cecil Travis now up with 1 out as Washington looks to open it up. This ball's hit deep to left field, way back at the wall. Goodbye. Home run. Travis Coughlin looks up. And the perfect start here for the Senators against John Lester and the Cubs. It is 4-0 Washington, 5-0 Washington. Moving to the 3rd inning, Kyle Schwarber facing Krakowskis. Schwarber goes deep to right field. It might be, it could be, way up there in the bleachers. A 3-run home run for Kyle Schwarber, and the Cubs right back in this ball game. 5-3. Wrigley gets on its feet. Schwarber with a long home run over 400 feet. It is 5-3 now. We move to the 6th. Addison Russell facing Harry Kelly with a man on. This ball's hit deep to center field. That's got some carry all the way to the wall and off the wall. It's going to be a triple for Addison Russell. Run scores 5-4. The Cubs have fought all the way back here in a big way. RBI triple by Addison Russell. 5-4 our score. Here's Chris Denorfia, the pinch hit with 1 out and a man on 3rd. There's ball 4. So Dexter Fowler now in a big spot. 2 on, 1 out, 1-run game, and Fowler drops this one to left field. The Cubs have tied it. Cubs come all the way back with 5 runs to match the Senators. And here comes Chris Coughlin with 1 out and 2 on. We are tied up now at 5. This one's drilled to center field, way back there. Looking up, that ball is caught. A great catch in center field. Case makes his way. What a play in center by Case, and it is now runners on the corners for Rizzo, but there are 2 outs. This is grounded up the middle, base hit Rizzo, and the run is going to score. The Cubs are going to take the lead here with 3 runs in the 6th inning. A 2-run single right up the middle by Anthony Rizzo. It is 6-5 Cubs. Chris Bryant now the hitter with 2 outs as the Cubs look to add on. Bryant's going to line a single to right. Another run scoring. Rizzo making it to 3rd. 7-5 Cubs. They put 4 on the board here in the 6th inning to overtake the Senators. We'll move to the 7th. Now Pedro Strop with a 2-run Cubs lead to try to close out the series. This ball's hit into the hole for a single. Leadoff hit for the Senators. Case on first. Taffy right the hitter. This is grounded to second. Nice play by Castro. Relay to first. Double play. Starlin Castro with a sparkling play. Backhands the ball, goes to second, and turns the twin killing. 7-5 remains our score. Here's Fowler now. We're all the way to the 8th inning. Early win has come on. And Fowler goes deep to the outfield in right. Home run, solo home run. Dexter Fowler. It's 8-5 Cubs. Fowler hits it out. A nice insurance run for Chicago. 8-1 our score now as Rizzo's up there. 2 outs. Rizzo goes to left field. That ball's off the wall, so Rizzo has another extra base hit. This is going to be a triple for the big first baseman. He beats the throw. The 10th hit for the Cubs. And we'll move now to the 9th inning. 2 outs. Hector Rondon on the mound facing Buddy Meyer. It's an 8-5 game. The pitch and a fly ball that's into the gap. That ball's going to get down. It's going to be a double for Meyer, as Rondon looks to try to close out this ball game. 2 outs. George Case, the hitter. Grounder past the first baseman. That gets through. So the Senators are going to bring the tying run to the plate. They're 2 outs. Halfy right facing Rendon. This is fly to center field. Coming on's Fowler. He gets there, and the Cubs wrap up the series in 6 games, winning it here at home. 8-5 our final score in this one. Celebrations at Wrigley Field. The 2015 Cubs come through and win the series. Dexter Fowler, a nice game 6, 3 for 4 with a triple, 3 runs scored. Rizzo, 2 for 3 with a triple, an RBI, and a run. He drove in the go-ahead run in that big 6th inning. Krakowskis, not so fortunate. He let up 3 in 5 innings, but the team and the bullpen fell apart in the 4th after the Senators were up 5-0, thanks in part to a Travis home run, a 3-run bomb by Kyle Schwarber. And then the Cubs were on their way in that 6th inning and held on. Hector Rondon closing it out for his 3rd save of the series. And the Cubs did what they had to do, coming from behind again and winning this in 6 games. Looking at some of the numbers for the winning Cubs, you can see here Chris Coghlan with that grand slam in Game 1. Had 8 RBIs with 2 home runs, hit .273. Addison Russell hit .300 for the series. And from there off, you see a drop-off in averages for the Cubs. Schwarber with only 4 RBIs and a .095 average, but it was the pitching really that did the Cubs well, especially their bullpen. Stroke pitched well. Rendon with 3 saves didn't allow a run. Kyle Hendricks pitched well in his win. Arrieta took the loss in his 12 innings, allowed 11 hits and 8 walks, but struck out 15. And the Cubs found a way. As we look now at the Senators, 10 hits for Sam West. He hit .526 for the series. What a performance from West. But Buddy Lewis drove in 4 at .364. But nobody over 4 RBIs for the Senators, who just couldn't get the runs when they needed them. Ken Chase, 12 innings of work with a great ERA in his 2 starts. Krakowskis with a .360 in his 10 innings pitched. Dutch Leonard got the loss in his only start. Carrasquillo had a rough series, as did Appleton, in some very crucial ball games. So the numbers really wouldn't obviously play it out, but it was the Cubs who won the close ones and did what they had to do in this series to pull out the victory. They actually won 2 out of 3 in Washington, both of those games by 1 runs, games 3 and 4, and then came back to end the series back at home. The MVP of the series, they actually gave it to the visiting man, Sam West, or the losing side, I should say, Sam West, who hit .526 for the series. 3 RBIs, 609 on base, 4 runs scored, 3 doubles, and a triple. Quite a series for Sam West at the plate. He was 10 for 19 they give him the MVP in the losing effort. But when all is said and done, Joe Maddon and the Cubs, all that matters is winning the series, even if it's winning a little bit ugly. They do it this time in 6 games. It's the 2015 Chicago Cubs over the 1939 Washington Senators. Thanks for joining us. This was Series 120. Cubs victorious here out of the Park Baseball 20 is your game engine, and we will be back soon. Hope you enjoyed this victory by the Cubs in 6 games over the Senators.